Ryan here. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, really excited about showing a new pickup, a new purchase that we made here for the Fullerton family. Picked up an Alliance Avenue 37 MBR. It is a fifth wheel tow behind camper that you guys can see that we're going to actually be living in here in about T-minus 60 days. So really quick here, if you guys are new to the channel, my wife and I were building our custom home over in Brighton, Michigan. We're super excited about that. And long story short, we've been trying to figure out how to get over to that side of town a lot more. Unfortunately, with the major thoroughfare of the highway where we live and the traffic that's going on with it, we just cannot get over to that side of town. Plus, we also rent a condo, and that costs us a pretty penny every month. As you guys can imagine, rent is ridiculously expensive around here. So about 2-3 months ago, the wheels started turning, and we said, you know, what if we bought a camper? What if we lived in a camper on site? Ended up talking to the township, ended up talking to the county level, figuring a couple different things out, and here's where we're at so far. So we're very, very excited about this. Like I said earlier, it's an Alliance Avenue. It's a 2024 model, and we're really pumped about it because I've always wanted to be a camping family. I've always wanted to own a fifth wheel. I bought the truck that you guys see behind us here for that exact reason. And of course, we have another truck on order here for our lawn and landscape company that will also be prepped for it. So we got a backup truck. But I also want to bless my guys. Maybe we could all go on camping trips one day or take some four-wheelers and some razors. So maybe a little bit more of that down the pike in 2024, 2025. But for now, let me show you guys what we got going on. We actually broke this up into kind of two-part tour. Liz is going to handle the inside because she knows a lot more of what's going on there. But yeah, here you go. Here's the grand reveal, right? We bought it in Indiana on Friday, and it was actually facilitated through a sale with a guy named Stuart. Awesome guy, gave me the whole walk around on the unit. And then we were actually able to pick it up at the factory. That's a little bit unique, something different. We're trying to do a factory tour there. I ended up not being able to do that, but we'll get into that in a minute why. But this is the unit that I brought home on Friday. And long story short, we didn't have a place to park it. So we brought it over to Sun Outdoors, the Haas Lake area, which is about a campsite 15 minutes down the road from where we live. All right, so before I get too far down the road about the unit that we just want to share with you guys, I wanted to just show you the fifth wheel hitch because I've been getting a lot of questions on Instagram about what we ended up picking up with that. So this is a Pole-Right, I forget the exact SKU, but it's the Pole-Right Super Glide. It's 16K rated, so you guys can see right here. And this has that swivel option that goes in those two different pivots for when you're turning, which helps with that short bed truck. So big shout out to the Pole-Right folks. I was able to go over there, shoot a video with them. One of the best hitches in the business. A lot of you guys turned me on to them. There's a lot of other great competitors and brands out there for sure. BW, Safeway, I think it is, a couple other different people. But I really liked the Super Glide. I really liked working with those guys. And that's what we went with. All right, so it wasn't too bad to unhook it the first couple times. I did pull this thing in at about 9 p.m. at night, but long story short, wasn't that big of a deal. So I'll give you guys a quick little 360. You guys can see the pin box here that we have, the RotoFlex. Now, again, we're just getting into fifth wheel camping or camping in general. I've been watching guys like JD with Big Truck, Big RV. I've been watching guys like Matt's RV reviews. Who's the Miles RVs, those guys, all the big RV quote unquote like influencers, if you want to call them that. I'm sure they're more humble and I wouldn't use that term just like I wouldn't use it for lawn care, but they're you know the who's who in the RV you know niche, and very, very smart people. Watched all their reviews and videos. So we got a couple different slide outs here. You guys can see we've got the two 30 or 35 pound propane tanks. Only one of them's filled up at the moment. You can switch and toggle between tanks. We got our pump system here. Took about 2 hours to unpackage, unbox this thing, whatever you want to call it, and a you know $500 shopping spree at General RV for a bunch of supplies. But actually, this is, once you do it once or twice, wasn't that complicated. For the water system, gray tank, black tank. Something that's new for Alliance, at least for this model in 2024, if you guys have watched any of their videos, is the instant hot water heater or the tankless water heater. So we have unlimited quote unquote hot water as long as you got your hookups, you know, for your city water or whatever you guys are pulling from. So that is absolutely awesome. We've been able to take a couple showers now. Thing works like a gem. No issues with that at all. I love the magnetic doors that just kind of fold down. I actually didn't put the water through that little grommet, so wasn't able to do that. But we'll just leave that door open for now. This wasn't too complicated to set up. Watched a bunch of YouTube videos. We got our 50 amp power. I did buy a surge protector. Unfortunately, I didn't get it hooked up just yet. So we're just kind of hardwired right into the campsite, but check this out. That is a beautiful, beautiful shop. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering why we went with the Alliance Avenue. And the reason is actually pretty simple. My wife and I wanted to make sure that we got a king bed setup for the front or back, whatever. Weren't really too particular about the kitchen, but we wanted to make sure we had a king bed because we sleep and bed share with our littles. Liz, you know, does the mommy feed, so we got to make sure that we can take care of that. And once you start looking at king beds, you really go from a tow behind, you know, bumper pull from 1,000 different units down to like 10, maybe. So you really have to get into fifth wheel category. So that's what number one turned us on. And then number two, we wanted some bunks, whether they were rear bunks or mid bunks. We weren't super particular, but I actually have a friend of mine, JD with Big Truck, Big RV. And a lot of you guys know JD on our Lawn Care YouTube channel. He was my source for buying my first couple trucks. Great guy, super smart. So I ended up calling him. He's a friend of mine. And I said, hey, we want a front king suite. We want a mid bunk, fifth wheel, blah, blah, blah. What do you think would fit us and our lifestyle and everything we're trying to do? And he actually turned us on to the Alliance brand. So that being said, because we wanted the king and the mid bunk, that really limited us again in the fifth wheel option to just a handful of SKUs that are out there, and the Alliance Avenue fit the mold. So I think we're going to transition really quick here. I'm going to take you guys inside, show you guys what we got going on. I think Liz is going to do the interior tour. So if you guys are enjoying the video, do me a big solid, big thumbs up. Super appreciate the love, the support. And again, if you guys got any comments, leave them down below. We'll try to answer them best we can and show you everything that we got going on over the next couple weeks and months and maybe years of ownership. All right, let's go inside. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, come on in. So right when you walk in through the front door, you have this awesome drop zone to your left, as well as our TV with storage above, fireplace below. There's even storage behind the TV, which is really neat. They're utilizing literally every square inch of the space for storage, which is super helpful. You have this nice big kitchen island with a good sized sink. I love the faucet that they picked. It's really been easy to use. There's tons of cabinet space in here. I think there's almost as much as we have where we currently live, which is crazy. We have a nice full-size microwave, a range, and an oven that both run on gas, as well as a huge refrigerator. Like, I can't believe they have this big of a refrigerator in an RV. It's kind of wild to me. Another thing I really love is this pantry. This is probably double the size pantry we have where we currently live. Obviously in our house we're gonna have a bigger one, but I mean, for on the road, this is amazing. And then one of my favorite things is this coffee bar area. At least that's what we're using it for. It has a ton more storage. These things are huge. Everything's a little hard to open because I guess they make them that way, so when you're driving, things aren't bouncing out. Another favorite feature of this RV was this huge dinette. I think we can fit like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 people, depending on their size. And then we also have theater seating to the right. You can hear Emmy girl, she's having a little snack. We had to ply her with snacks to get this video done, so I'm sorry if you hear her chatting in the background. This is our bonus room where we plan on having the kids sleep. So our idea in here was to take out this couch. This couch currently folds out into a bed, but what we would love to do is take it out and make a bunk with a crib on the bottom and a spot for Emmy to sleep on the top. Right now it's not too big of an issue, but as the kids get older, I'm sure it'd be nice to have the extra space, especially as this one starts to move around. So it does have some storage in here, a small desk. Poor Brian, this is your new corner office, but it'll be worth it when the house gets built, I think. Okay, so there's that. One other thing I really liked about this RV was that it has shoe storage underneath the steps. So they really are trying to optimize the space. So the shoes are nice and out of the way. Up here you have all of our controls. It's actually really simple. These things looked super intimidating to me, and then just after spending a day or two in here, we kind of got the flow and the understanding of them, and it's not super intimidating or anything anymore. Up here is the kids' loft. We were thinking we could eventually put even a bed up here for Emmy maybe, or just make it into a reading area. All of our toys are stashed up there right now, and we really liked the fact that these are steps that are at an angle and not just like a ladder. It makes it much safer for the kids to go up and down on their own, which I appreciate. Another window in the hallway. That was one thing I didn't mention in the living room area. There's windows everywhere, and natural light is super important to me. If you've been through the house build with us, you know that was one of my main asks, was that we optimized on all of the natural light that we could. And it's funny that in the RV they've done the same thing. Over this way is the bathroom. And I'm 5'3", so obviously I'm probably not giving you the best spatial comparison, but it is pretty tall. Brian doesn't have to bend or anything, and he is on the taller side, so it's really easy. Toilet, storage, shower, sink. Through here we have our bedroom, and I love this layout so much because we were able to configure it so that we have a king-size bed. So one of the reasons we went with the fifth wheel is because this was the only way we could really figure out how to get a full-size bed in here, as well as the mid-bunk. And this is our dresser. The top flips up. You can store jewelry or odds and ends in here. We have 4 drawers and then more shoe storage underneath. The bed lifts up for even more storage. I'm not going to do that because it does take a little bit of muscle. And then in here, we actually have our washer and dryer in our closet. So we have a bag of laundry waiting for us for when we get home. Actually, I need to try out the washer and dryer probably before we get out of here because I want to make sure that it works well. But having a washer and dryer was also another really important key factor for us in making our decision on buying this one. We had to have a washer and dryer with kids being full-time. I'm not going to the laundromat and stuff like that. We just don't have time running the business and everything. Last thing, another piece of storage. They have this cute little bench area here. We have some diapers sitting on top of it right now, but underneath you have more storage for blankets or maybe even more shoes if you're like me. I have a lot of shoes. Our only thing we're trying to figure out right now is this is what Crew's currently sleeping in, and it is rated for safe sleep. I don't love it up here, but I think it's decent. I would love to find a way to get it actually stable on the floor somehow, but
yeah, one thing that I like, just a couple of features that maybe you glossed over that I think people would appreciate. You got the air conditioning unit just in this room alone, which keeps the room very cold.
Very cold.
Very cold.
So cold last night, actually. Yep. Too cold.
The heat, by the way, might as well hit that while we're at it. Has some vents in the bathroom and in the main living area. Heated the whole thing up. We did not turn the heat on last night.
It got down to below 50 degrees last night.
Yeah.
So we've turned that on, and within
maybe 10 minutes,
it was
heated the whole place up. Tons of USB-C plugs and ports right here, which is really nice. So there's normal 110s, USB and USB-C, which is pretty dope. To operate the air conditioner, it's just up, down, cool and off. Pretty simple. And then this is a really sweet door. That gives some really nice privacy. Shuts the whole unit off over there. So you get your king suites.
One thing I forgot to mention on the topic of outlets, so there's actually an outlet in the pantry, which I thought was so smart because you can actually put your toaster there or something, because you're obviously not going to take up counter space for a lot of utility type things. And I thought that there's light switches and outlets everywhere in this place. So
got your dimmer switch, so just one tap turns off all your lights. Pretty awesome. You get this beautiful accent lighting here. It goes all the way down. One of Liz's favorite features.
It's not my favorite feature.
It's not her favorite feature. I think it's really cool.
Brian loves it though.
The switches, pretty straightforward. You got your slides. You got your 2 awnings. You can see where all your tanks are at. With holding it down, you can see, where your tanks are at. So it looks like our black tank's only at 1/3. Right, so pretty straightforward. Water pump. You can heat up your tanks if it's too cool outside. These are the lights. We're not sure what the camera one does just yet, but accent lights are outside, awning lights are outside. Oh, one other thing about the shower, tell them about the heat, instant water heater.
Oh, that is such a nice feature. So we stayed in a tiny house up north once that had the world's smallest hot water tank. Before I could get the shampoo out of my hair, we had run out of hot water. So it's really nice that we have like unlimited, basically, hot water here, and we haven't run out yet. I just really can't get over like our whole living area. We're gonna be doing Thanksgiving and Christmas and Crew's first birthday probably, all while living in this RV, and it's been really nice and fun to actually think about hosting things. Even living in an RV, we still have that capability with like the residential type appliances we have, and yeah, I think it'll be a really good fit for us. Oh, I almost forgot my lights.
The pendant lights, you like those?
We thought this is the 2024 unit, and we were kind of worried that they were going to change a couple things, and one of my things I was worried about them changing was the pendant lights, and we got to keep them.
Yep.
So
there's also a ventilation fan if you're cooking. We've also got the fireplace if you need some extra heat. We actually turned that on first in the morning, and it heated this whole place. TV's nice. The sound bar, haven't been able to figure that out just yet. I'm sure that sounds decent. Still got to work on that. All right, well, the baby said to wake up, so that's where we're gonna have to cut this video. Appreciate you guys watching and seeing our new home. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. We'll do our best to answer those comments. And just want to say a big shout out to all the Alliance folks out there. It's on Alliance Avenue 37 MBR, and we've gotten to know so many great people over the last couple of months, both at the company side and then also you guys that have RV channels. Liz and I watch all of you guys, and it's been very helpful to learn the camping and RV industry over the last couple of months as we've been shopping for our own unit. One last quick thing I'll say is big shout out to Big Truck Big RV. His name is JD. Without him, we wouldn't have went with this unit because we had been eyeballing a bunch of different models out there. And after a lot of shakedown and after a lot of a Plinko chip of where that could go, with his suggestion, we really looked at this unit and gave it a good nod, saying this is the one. So shout out to JD there. If you guys haven't seen his channel, I'll make sure to leave a link in the description, and you guys can check his channel out. Very helpful channel for trucks and RVs, as you can imagine. So guys, that's what we got for you. We'll keep you posted as things progress. If you got any questions on the unit, anything about RVing or camping, whatever we can do to help you guys out, let us know. All right, over and out. You guys have a beautiful day. We look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.